Hello and welcome to another Raggy's review. So, not a beer review. So today I'm going to be reviewing Martini Rosso. Um, L'Aperitivo. I don't actually know a lot about Martini Rosso. I've drank it before, but naturally infused with botanicals, sourced from a selection of over 40 different herbs from around the world. Um, uh, Classed as a vermouth, 15% volume. So, yeah, let's crack it open. Pour a glass. So, here we go. Yeah, it's got a reddish colour to it. Bear in mind, it's -1 in the shed, so this is absolutely freezing. Oh, you can smell the botanicals and the herbs. Got a whiff of sage then, funnily enough. Yeah, it reminds me in some ways like a gin, but a lower strength gin and between a port and a sherry, that sort of ABV. I mean, port's 20%. I think sherries are about the same, to be fair. Mostly, at least. Been a while since I've had a sherry. I normally buy a bottle of sherry so I can do a sherry trifle. I do like a proper sherry trifle. Anyway, yeah, certainly got that aromas to it. Obviously, I poured a decent glass. I need to get the feel for it, as you do. Hey, need to warm my cockles, as it were. Oh, now I've no idea what you'd have this with. I'd assume you won't be drinking it ice cold either, because it is absolutely bloody freezing in here. Luckily, no cans or bottles have blown because it's too cold. Yeah, there's always that. We used to put pop in here back in the day, before we had it as a beer room, when it was more of a gym. This was our gym. Never went in it, mind you. And nobody else did either. It was too bloody cold. Now it's obviously the beer room with a DVD wall, like 20 odd game consoles, a settee. Not that you can get to the settee because it's full of cushions, but the fort's there. Oh, yeah. So it's like a it reminds me of a red wine, like a fruity red wine, but with like a gin-like experience from the botanicals and the herbs. I know it says it's 15%, but I'm not getting no ABV. Certainly not 15% ABV. There is a sweetness to it. I don't know who sells it these days either. I mean, I was gifted it, so yeah. I assume it's about. I find Martini and Cinzano and them sort of things to be slightly, without being, a more elderly person's drink. I know I'm 54, but I'm on about elderly. Yeah, it's different. It's warm in my belly now. I know that. Um, it's so cold in here. I literally, uh, I've just done one review, and but you know, I think there's a point where even with I've got a heated body warmer on, and I'm in work gear. Apart from me, obviously this, but everything else is pretty much work gear. Not me acting, but I wear a different hat at work. The wife bought me this Urban Chicken Ale. But yeah, I'm in them sort of clothes. But yeah, ooh, I'm getting the warmth from it. And it's weird because I have drank it before. I had a bottle not too long ago, to be honest. I think I just walloped it down me, to be honest. Yeah, I am that type of person, you know. Yeah. Just pour it out, yeah. Pour into a pint glass, sod it, eh? Get it down. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. You know, I have drank literally everything out of a pint glass. And when I say everything, and there's been reasons, you know, over the years, you know, losing a family member, being at my lowest breaking point because of mental health, and obviously I'll get a whiskey, brandy, or whatever, pint glass, wallop, yeah, and yeah, nothing to shout about, you know, in that respect, but I have done it. But yeah, it's different. For me, not knowing anything about it, this for me in Sainsbury's would be with sherries and port in the fortified wine section. And other than that, I know nothing about it. I know it's Italian, whereas obviously port is Portugal, sherry is most Spain, I think, if memory serves me correctly. You know, like a fortified wine from certain countries, you know, a bit like with sparkly wines, you know, champagne is only from that area in France. Prosecco is predominantly only Italy, although Hungary do it as well. Brut, or is that Carver, is from Spain. I used to know all this. I used to know this religiously. And I do miss my supermarket days, you know, because one, it was warm. Two, you dealt with customers, and it was nice, you know. People talking to you, strangers, nattering. But then the arseholes wanted to put me on the tills, and that was too much, and it killed the job, killed it for me. Would I have left? There's the question. Probably not. Because I had good friends. Yeah. And this is where workplaces kill their own workplaces by doing things that, you know, yeah. I mean, I only have to look at Nottingham City Council, who I used to work for. They did, the management did the dirty on the workers and protected their jobs, but shrank the workers, shrank the money, shrank the workers, put more on the workers, and more and more and more. The fact of it is that those workers can only do so much, you know, and they protected their jobs. And the council then became like top heavy, you know, that many managers and that many workers, and it's like, how the hell do you need all them managers? You don't. The managers, you only need that many managers and that, you know, that many workers to do the job. But they protected their jobs. And a lot of the managers, to be fair, at the council, a lot of the managers were all good mates that had gave their mate a job. No qualifications, gave their mate a job and got them on the ladder. And if that happened in Nottingham, you know, if you look around the world, look around the whole UK, if that's happened in one city, you can guarantee that's probably happened across all councils. An interesting little thought there. But anyway, yeah. For me, it's like not knowing anything about the brand. It's like a sherry or a port, slightly lower ABV, with those gin botanicals. For me, though, it's enjoyable. Good 4.4 out of 5. Cheers.